because I am. Nothing. Good morning, everybody. Nothing is better than waking up in the morning, turning on your YouTube, watching KTC Broadcasting, and see Terry Reinhardt eating Mitchem's Kitchen biscuits to the tune of Itsy Bitsy, Teeny Weeny, Yellow Polka Dot Bikini.
And it's gone.
If you were watching online, that was just TV gold right there. From I walked down the hall, not paying attention to what was on the radio for a second, and I looked on the video screen, and Terry is enjoying his. What'd you have this morning, Terry?
Bologna, liver mush on a bun with some mayonnaise.
With some mayonnaise. That's a thick old biscuit there, Terry. Lead to smoke. What'd you have this morning, buddy?
Scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs. Just a scrambled eggs?
Yeah.
Okay. So how was it?
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, no cheese.
No.
Salt, pepper.
I'm not like that. I just
eggs. Just mix up the eggs and warm them up a little bit, and you're ready to rock.
Yeah, I'm pretty
All right,
simple.
Seth, what about you, boss man? Press that button. Still can't hear you. Press that button. Man, there's one of them buttons not on in there. I'll come in there and check it, or Smoke's going to come in there and check it just a second. But good morning, everybody. Biscuits for everybody. Mitchem's Kitchen Sports Talk.
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
There you go. Steph got him figured out. 704-276-1155. Give them a call today. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner 7 days a week. Mitchem's Kitchen Sports Talk, our sponsor here on this beautiful Saturday morning. Good morning to everybody. Not so great a morning in some places. Some grades morning in other places. Over in Cleveland County, Rutherford County, Wayo. Didn't win the games last night, Terry. As we talk a little bit, we'll start off in high school baseball action. You got the scores there in front of you, Terry.
I do. Well, last night in the 1A bracket, and it was Whiteville playing Murphy. Whiteville had no trouble defeating Murphy last night, 10-0 in their first game. Game 2 for them today is at 2 p.m. In the 2A bracket, it was John Holmes defeating RS Central 3-1. Their game 2 is today at 2 p.m. So that's in the 2A bracket. In the 3A bracket, it was Northern Guilford defeating Crest 4-2 yesterday. Game 2 for them is this morning at 11 a.m. And in the 4A bracket, it was TC Roberson defeating New Hanover 3-1. Game 2 for them today is 11 a.m. this morning.
So if I'm right, Terry, that I'm looking at the West went 1-3.
Let's see, 1, 0-2, 0-3. Yep, 1-3.
1-3 winning in the 4A. So got a chance today. Got 2 games today. If you can win game 2, though, you got to win them to win it. I'm not gonna say no problem, but realistically looking at it, I think all these teams have a good chance. We'll see. You never know in a series. The thing about it is the pitching. We always talk about that. Does the team have just one guy, and he wasted them last night, and they've got to go in today and just out-hit each other? Or that's what Crest maybe hopes, because about nobody can out-hit Crest. If Northern Guilford gave up their number 1 and don't have anybody behind him, Crest got a good chance today, even though they're down 0-1. We saw that down at Mallard Creek, myself and Andy Foster. The starting pitcher at Marvin Ridge, not Mallard Creek, was just dealing. The little lefty changeup was nasty, Terry. I mean, we were sitting probably about knee to waist high because where we were lower than the batter, and you could just see the ball drop about from eye level below us, and it was just a good pitcher. But once they got by him, they hammered everybody else, and so that's what Crest has got to look forward to and hope today. They had a 15-game winning streak snapped last night, so maybe that pops in their head. Hey, now that's over. You're not the greatest thing since sliced bread. Now wake up call. Let's bring the bats today and hammer away. What do you think, Terry?
Well, I mean, you got Crest coming in. Crest got 3 seniors. I mean, you cannot. I mean, that is fantastic for the years coming up.
Right.
But with 3 seniors, these 3 seniors are trying to lead them. But you're playing a Northern Guilford team who has lost 4 games, and they lost to East Forsyth 1-0 in 8 innings. They lost 5-2 McMichael, their worst loss of the year, and they lost 1-0 to Moorhead and 3-2 to Topsail. So they have pretty much been in every game that they have played. Besides getting beat by Michael 5-2, and they was really in that game. But for them today, it's a chance to rebound and get back on track. Is it over? No. No. I mean, just like we said, we saw Lincoln and come back after losing their first game way back in 95 and come back and win the next 2 to win the state title. And, Crest has got to do the same thing. That's why you play 3 games. I like this format. I like this format better than I like the basketball format because when you get to basketball, it's a one game. If you have a bad game, then you're defeated. In this right here, you're gonna have to beat somebody 2 out of 3 to determine a state championship. And if you have a bad game, you can bounce back and still win it.
I will say this though, with the you're talking about you can have a bad game in game one, try to sweep Saturday. The thing is, you're gonna have to be basically perfect on your decisions as a head coach, especially with this new format where you have a pitch count, so you can't use the same guy in the same day if you use him for over a certain amount of pitches, and you're really hoping that your pitchers today are going to be spot on, so you don't have to go into that bullpen or have to go into the field and get someone. So you don't want to use up all your pitchers in game 2 if you're Crest. You just hope that your pitchers are shut out and you hope your bats come back alive. But I think it would have been nothing short of astonishing that they would have gone 2 months without a loss. I think, they were bound to have a loss, and eventually, and fortunately for Crest in this situation, you're having a loss in a series instead of like a one-game sudden death playoff game.
If this loss, you're right, Smoke. If the loss would have came, a week or two earlier, the season would have been over. But Smoke, you kind of said something the other night. You was making a point. Maybe kind of heard a coach saying something to an umpire. Terry, talking these pitch counts and stuff. As an umpire in a league or statewide or anything, has anyone talked about does the strike zone expand or get bigger? Because what if a coach gets upset at umpire? Let's say just for saying sakes, hey man, the strike zone's tight, throwing a lot of balls here. He's on a pitch count.
Yeah, and it's a lot of times. I mean, the strike zone for an umpire is always the same. It's never going to change.
Supposed to be.
Well, it should.
Supposed to be by the book, right?
Yeah, and everybody that steps in there, you got small guys, short guys, big guys. Strike zone gets bigger, smaller.
Yeah, that's what people need to understand. It changes for every player, right?
Yeah, and then you have to understand when that player steps in a box, it's not him squinching down, and then all of a sudden your strike zone shrinks.
No.
It's him standing straight up. When he steps in that batter's box, that's what an umpire looks at. Okay, here's my strike zone. Don't step in there squinch down, because then he's ready to think you're trying to float him. But once you step in that batter's box, that's what an umpire should look at and say, okay, now I've got my strike zone on this guy. No matter where he goes here, whether he's up, down, standing, backwards, whichever, the strike zone's still the same.
And I will say that most of these umpires that we've seen in both high school baseball throughout this year and so far in Legion, most of them, I'd say about 90% of them, have been fairly consistent, about as consistent as you can be for a human being, because you're going to miss a couple of calls that on the outside corner or on the inside corner. It's just a part of human nature, but I think especially in this stage, you're going to get some pretty consistent officiating from the umpires, and it's a state championship game. I remember when we did the state championship series between West Lincoln and West Lincoln last year, the umpires, I don't think we had really any complaints from them last year.
No, I was very happy with what we had out there on the field last year in the games that we did.
Coming in today, guys, I just maybe not all the series, but I mean, most teams got, you get this far, a lot of these teams do have a stud, and then you do turn around to hit. I mean, day 2 is about, if you're going to win day 2, it's going to be about endurance. And like Smoke said, coach is going to have to make the right decisions about when to take what pitchers out, because then, back then, I just can't, back in the day or whatever, hey, you're not doing too good, take him out now, he'll be ready for game 2, bring him out, get refreshed and go, whatever. Now you're thinking, well, if he got 30 pitches in here, does he got 22 here, all that is just, you almost have to have the team, the school mathematician over there to help you out in the series here. It's going to just, leaning on what Smoke's talking about with the coaches and that. But I think it's going to come down to hitting today overall across the board. That favors Crest, but you have to win game 2, right, Terry, before you can get a chance to swing away in game 3 at all. So I think they got a good chance. Terry, you got some other notes and stuff there you want to go over about it and everything?
Well,
I got a lot of writing over there.
Yeah,
got a lot of chicken scratch today.
That's what I usually do.
I
think if you're Crest, and you may have mentioned this, but I was getting the stuff situated, but I think if you're Crest, you're going to see Crest be even more aggressive in the second game in particular. If it's relatively close, you're probably going to see batters swing. Because it's desperation, win or go home time.
Yeah. Terry, go ahead with some other notes and stuff there.
Well, I was just looking over. I mean, for Chris, they started the season out 6-6, and then went on that 15-game winning streak, to put them in this situation. And I mean, they lost yesterday 4-2. I mean, they were in the game, had opportunities, and didn't succeed. But they come back today, pitching wise, they're in good shape. C.J. Mayhew, Riley Cheek, and Dylan. Izzy, is that how you spell his last name? I mean, those are good pitchers that they have on the mound that they can throw out there again. Logan McNeely was behind the plate, which is signed now, I think, with Wingate.
He's a stud. He's a stud bat. He's a really good hitter. Bats their third in the lineup there for Crest. Pretty impressive to watch him play. If you're going down there today, watch him. Terry's got some stats there on him.
That's what I'm saying. 434 average, 5 home runs, 38 RBIs going into yesterday. That's a good season for anybody. Would like to have that.
And I want to say RS Central. I mean, you see that the SMAC conference has got 2 teams in the baseball state championship, which I think you could argue might be harder to get because of how deep a lot of these baseball teams are compared to like football, where you feel like you got a good idea of who's going to make it. I mean, a pitcher can change the outcome of these playoffs, and we've seen it before. And I think it's even harder for these teams to make it. So you got to give a bit, even if none of the teams win it, you got to give a big pat on the back to both of these teams for amazing accomplishments, especially Crest, who was 6-6 at one point, and then they haven't lost until last night for the first time in 2 months. Also, I got to mention Mackenzie Gore, the pitcher from Whiteville, pitched probably his final high school game last night for Whiteville and shut down their opponent. I think he struck out 13. And, of course, the reason why is Mackenzie Gore is probably going to be a top 5 pick in the MLB draft, I believe, next week or so. So that's pretty big for Whiteville. And for North Carolina, seeing a lot of prospects. Also got a prospect from North Davidson High School that's probably going to be drafted in the first round as well.
Yeah, and you're speaking of RS Central, and their pitchers they send to the mound: Quentin Harris, Marty Burrell, Dylan Phillips, and Jason Crow. Those guys have done it all year for them. So are they out of it? No. I mean, when you got good pitching and you can send a stud out there from day one and then turn around and send another one out there on day 2, they still got a chance. I mean, they still in this thing too also.
Yeah, so just want to remind everyone that Game 2 will be on WOHS 1390 AM, the Boss 101.5 FM, and I think it might be on WCSL. Seth, could you check that for me and see if it's on any other station?
According to this, it says WOHS only.
Okay, so the WOHS 1390 AM and the Boss 101.5 FM, that'll be also on KTCBroadcasting.com. This is Game 2 between Crest and Northern Guilford. If Crest does win Game 2 today, they will play later today at 5 o'clock on WOHS only in the Boss. So for all you Braves fans, if Crest does win today, we will have to cut into the Braves coverage this evening. So we got a busy baseball day. We got 2 Legion games coming up tonight on WCSL and WLON. We also got NASCAR Xfinity Series racing. We'll try to squeeze in the Atlanta Braves game in today. They play about mid-afternoon today, so should be a pretty busy day if you're in a great day.
3:55 the airtime for the Braves in Cincinnati.
All right, so Braves right now currently second, I believe. Yeah, second in the NL East, but still very far back of Washington Nationals. That I don't know if we will get the complete game on our radio stations with the American Legion Baseball and the state possibility of a state championship sudden death game. But we will have the Braves on, I believe, tomorrow as well. So can't get all the games, and especially with American Legion, but we got ourselves a dandy of a day with baseball. Of course, once again, Crest, Northern Guilford, that'll be Game 2 tonight, or today at 10:30, coverage starting. Andy Foster will
not be cutting away from Crest. Like, is that what you just
Crest
said?
From the Braves.
Oh, yeah, from the Braves, yeah.
Yeah, we will not wait. Yeah, we will definitely not cut away from Crest.
I was making sure you said that right.
Unless there's like some rain delay.
We will have a Crest coverage. Andy Foster, Paul Foster doing a good job down in Zebulon, North
Beautiful
Carolina.
Ballpark.
Cherville folks listen on 1590. They've heard of Zebulon before. That's home of a couple state championship visits. I remember I was telling Andy, go out there past that center field American flag and walk 100 steps and pick up that look at that dent where Ralph Roberts' home run ball landed at one of those. Pick that up. Might still be out there. I don't know if it landed or not. It's probably on the tarmac out there at the airport. Terry, that ball went so far.
I hear you.
Excuse me, but good morning, everyone. Terry, did you guys go over the softball yet?
That's what I'm getting ready to go over right now. In softball, in the 1A action last night, it was North Stanley. The Comets defeating Whiteville 6-2, and that's very impressive. Whiteville with both of their softball and baseball teams in the finals. In the 3A bracket, and I'm going to go on to the 3A bracket for a second, but it was Orange County defeating Piedmont. Both of these teams are the Panthers, 3-2 last night. And in the 4A bracket, it was North Davison over Cape Fear, 4-0. But in the 2A bracket, South Granville has made it back again, which we had them last year. Me and Smoke did. The girls, Miranda Baker, her earned run average is 0.88. So she is willing and dealing. 209 KOs going into last night. Only had earned 19 runs against her all year long. Still got Allie Kolkoff, Megan Wyatt, the kid that hit a home run last year against West Lincoln. She's still there, hit 10 home runs. But I'm going to tell you the amazing thing about this team. This is their 18th game that they've shut out an opponent this year. They are 27-0. They shut out their opponent 18 times. They have 15 games scored 10 runs or more. But I'm going to tell you the most amazing thing about this. We always talk about Shelby never trailing for a whole season. This team of South Granville only trailed one time all year long, 1-0 in the third inning.
Wow.
And in the top of the fourth, they come in and scored 8 runs. So somebody made them mad that they fell behind. But that's the only time that this team has trailed all year long in softball. 1-0, and then they scored 8 runs in the top of the fourth to blow that game wide open. So
they got some good pitching, Terry.
You got good pitching and hitting. Yeah, they've got both.
Yeah, so tough matchup for who they play in Parkwood, you said?
Parkwood. Playing Parkwood, yeah. But they've only gave up 25 runs all year long in 27 games.
That ain't bad. So if you get 2, you're going to win?
Well, for them, I guess you feel safe.
That's how it is. So look across the board, like Terry said, it looks like North Davidson 1-0 on Cape Fear, Orange over Piedmont, South Granville over Parkwood, and North Stanley over Whiteville. I said North Stanley. I read from the bottom up. I went backwards.
Okay.
I read backwards, Terry. But time for a break. Real quick on those pitching rules, Terry. I want to thank our Wednesday sports talk show host, Ken Leak. You can follow those guys online and on Twitter and listen and watch them every Wednesday on the same channel you're watching right now on KTC. And also listen on Wednesdays, WCSL 1590 AM 4 to 5. Pitch count, Terry, for the series is 120 pitches. So whatever they did yesterday, I guess you take them out and bring them in a day, 2 days like that, and we'll see what goes on. I feel good. You just gotta just see what happens with Chris. They get to game 3. I think you got to feel good about them. Game 2, of course, is crucial. Down 0-1, you got to win that one. But if they can get to game 3, I feel good from there. Game 2 is going to be tough. All right, guys, time to take a break. We're going to be back in just a few minutes. Got to talk some other things. American Legion Baseball is going on right now. We'll talk a little bit about that. Got to talk Major League Baseball, Cardinals, Cubs. Terry, how you Royals doing?
They
got
beat
Red
Cleveland
Sox.
again.
Beat the Indians again. And Seth's Giants. Not only have you...
We did beat the hapless Phillies last night.
Yep, and then the most important thing we got to talk about in baseball is now the most dangerous hitter in Major League Baseball. We'll get to that in just a few moments on KTCBroadcasting.com, WCSL 1590 AM, and WON 1050 AM. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to join the Boss of Big O Country as we broadcast live this Saturday, June 3rd, during Customer Appreciation Day at Roland Black Heating and Cooling in Gastonia. We'll be there this Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We'll have free city lunch hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks, and register to win some great prizes, too, including a Yeti cooler, 5 free summer tune-nuts valued at $94 each, and an air scrubber plus clean air purifier system. That's valued at $750. And ask about Train 0% APR financing for 72 months or a trade-in allowance of up to $1,000. So plan now to be there this Saturday, June 3rd, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at Roland Black Heating and Cooling, 501 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia, just up from Tony's Ice Cream. Hey, we'll see you this Saturday.
The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series is in Dover, Delaware.
The Motor Racing Network.
Wow, they're fanning out 2 with 3 wide behind Matt Crafton.
The hardest racing drivers in NASCAR.
He overcorrects and hits the wall head on.
Tangle at the Monster Mile.
Got a good run to the inside of the racetrack.
The Bar Harbor 200, presented by Sea-Watch International.
Wow.
Friday at 5 p.m. on the Motor Racing Network.
The Bar Harbor 200 this Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock on Big O Country, 1590 AM WCSL, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com. You may not know this, but the best greens of the Carolinas are right here in Shelby and Cleveland County at the Riverbend YMCA Golf Course. People continue to rave about the condition of the greens. Russell Spangler has worked hard to make them tip-top shape for your round of golf. And course manager Phil Wallace invites you to come on by and play. Call for their special rates at 704-482-4286 or visit the website at riverbendymcagolf.com. Call for your tee time today. Acre Enterprises in Cherryville is having a sale on metal roofing. Get ready for summer storms with a new metal roof. 12-foot wide red or green metal roofing with a 10-year warranty is now just $20 a sheet. 12-foot silver Gavalume with a 25-year warranty, just $18 a sheet. And 21-foot white or green sheets with a 10-year warranty, just $38 a sheet. Acre Enterprises will beat anyone else's price on metal roofing, guaranteed. See Acre Enterprises, 1220 Shelby Road, Cherryville, right across from Food Line. Online at acrecarports.com. Every day is a special day at Whiskey Mill Bar and Grill in Bessemer City. Tell Mike and Eddie we sent you in and see the newly renovated restaurant. On Mondays, it's hot dogs, $1.25. Get a BLT with chips for $3.99 on Tuesday. It's jumbo wings, Wednesday and Sunday. Big jumbo wings, 65 cents. And on Thursday, get a Chick-fil-A sandwich for just $3. Plus drink specials each and every day at the Whiskey Mill Bar and Grill, 201 West Pennsylvania Avenue, Kings Mountain Highway in Bessemer City. Online at whiskeymill.com. Tell Mike and Eddie we send you in.
Welcome back. Mitchem's Kitchen Saturday Sports Talk. What's up? Biscuits. 704-276-1155. Give Mitchem's Kitchen a call today and every day, 7 days a week. Good food, good food. Terry, Major League Baseball. We'll talk a little bit about that real quick before we end up with some Legion and stuff here shortly. But first of all, let's talk Major League Baseball and looking across the board. Terry, I'm waiting on your guess. I gave you a little teaser in the break. Last 85 plate appearances, folks. 85, it's roughly, I don't know, divide 4 at-bats, 4 at-bats a game in 85, 20 games roughly. In the last 20-so games, who is the most dangerous hitter in Major League Baseball? I'll give you 2 of the 3. Top 3. One is Bryce Harper. The other is Mike Trout. Who's the most dangerous hitter? Now, Bryce Harper has 10 extra base hits in his last 85 plate appearances and 16 RBI. Mike Trout has 13 extra base hits in his last 85 plate appearances and 18 RBI, so a little bit better than Bryce. But this mystery player has 14 extra base hits and 25 RBI in his last 85 plate appearances.
I'm proud for this guy, but he'll probably be somebody we'll never hear
He's
of
a St.
again.
Louis Cardinal. You've probably never heard of him, Terry, I'd imagine.
You'll hear from him again.
So we're gonna back up 2 days ago.
Oh, good.
Against the Los Angeles Dodgers of Anaheim, or who are they? Are they one of them this year? That blue team.
Yeah, that evil blue team.
The Dodgers got beat 2-0, Terry. Adam Wainwright hit a 2-run home run, beating the Dodgers by himself, shutting them out, and hit a 2-run home run to win the ball game for the Cardinals. Adam Wainwright, over his last 85 plate appearances, Terry, 14 extra base hits, 25 RBIs. Adam Wainwright now is the most dangerous hitter in Major League Baseball. Move over Madison Bumgarner. Wainwright is not only the top pitcher, he's the top hitter in baseball. Terry, what you think?
Maybe not the top pitcher now. Kershaw pitched last night, looked pretty good.
Kershaw.
I said the top hitting pitcher.
I know.
Terry.
I must say though, he pitched last night.
And speaking of Kershaw, you want to talk about Kershaw and the Cardinals? You really want to bring that one up?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is he, 0 forever against us? How many World Series he got?
Well, I mean,
none.
If you go regular season, he's probably one of the best ever thrown out
Who
there.
cares about the regular season?
That's exactly right.
just ask
I
Washington
agree.
Capitals.
I agree.
Yachty stomps Kershaw into the ground every time they see each other. Adam Wainwright, though, guys, ain't that a fun stat? Our last 85 plate appearances, Terry, he's got more extra base hits and RBIs than Bryce Harper and Mike Trout.
He's had a great comeback after being hurt for most of the year 2 years ago.
And he's been punched in the face less times than Bryce Harper. And I have nothing bad to say about Mike Trout, but Bryce Harper, yeah, and he definitely don't have hair as bad as Bryce Harper.
Toss a helmet too.
He's got a better curveball than Bryce Harper. But yeah, Adam Wainwright, Terry. All right, we'll get done with the Cardinals. Cardinals at 500 right now. After getting done with that, that was fun. Terry, your Royals are in last, 7 games under 500. Smokes. Red Sox are in third, 3 games back, 4 games over 500.
We're only 6 back.
And Seth's Giants are in last.
It's an odd
11
year.
games back, but you're tied for last. You're tied for last. You can move up any day now into fourth with the Padres. There's been some ways to fix drafts. Like the NBA draft. You ever heard of the secondary tournament, Terry, where you take all the teams that didn't play and they play between the days that there's no games, and then they play to get the number 1 pick. Actually, that could be entertaining. Fix the ping pong balls, other things like that. But if you guys were playing in the last place draft, you guys and the Royals, you guys and the Giants would be good matchups right here, guys.
Yeah, I want
rematch of the World Series.
You hit a good point right there. Do y'all believe in having makeup tournaments in tournaments? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like on weekend ball, I have been to do tournaments and been involved on tournaments where whatever you do on Saturday, then they put you like in an A, B, C, D group, and then you can have a chance at winning that tournament. You might be the worst team there, but they'll put you in the D group, and
kind
you
of like
could
the
win
losers bracket or something, and then you get back in it.
I mean, is that a plus? Is that a negative?
I'm just totally confused about whatever you just said.
Well, I'm just saying, let's say you go on Saturday and you're playing in one of these tournaments.
Explain maybe.
Yeah, let's say you make a trip and you're going to a town and they've got, let's say 50 teams in it. Most of them have more, but let's say you got 50 teams in it. And on Saturday you go 0-2. So come back on Sunday, you're still in the tournament, and you have to understand what this is about is money. But they bring you back on Sunday, even though you were 0-2, and they put you in this D group of playing, and you could get beat one game and you're out of it because it comes single elimination on Sunday, and that knocks you out of it. So you could go 0-3, but you got to come back on Sunday and play in another little tournament. But you could win that tournament and be champions of the D.
Well, you're the D-League champions. Everybody gets a participation award. I don't know how we got to that from Major League Baseball.
Well, I'm just saying. When you started speaking of that,
I was just talking about how you guys in the Royals from the World Series the other day. We got on travel ball, but that's all right.
Okay.
As far as that goes, no, Terry, that's just silly. That's participation awards. And what happens? So, and like I said, that's kind of like what you just said. I'm glad you brought that up. And we'll talk about it maybe. It's kind of like the bowl game system, isn't it?
Well, it is. You're right.
That's pretty much exactly like how bowls work.
You're about right.
The D teams, because the second place team don't get a trophy, but the 30th place team gets a big old trophy, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Second best place team in a field of 50 don't get the trophy, but the 30th best team does.
Does get a trophy.
That's just like winning a college football ball. There you go, guys. Cleared that up for y'all guys one time. Y'all come around my way. Yankees on top of the East. Royals in second. I picked the Orioles. Manny Machado's disappeared. Maybe if he was around, they would be in first place. Smokey Red Sox are in third. Blue Jays are still above 500. Toronto's only 1. Your whole division looks pretty strong right now. Central-wise, Terry, Twins out front all year. Andy Foster and his Twins. You believe that?
Yeah, they just hanging around. You notice that Cleveland's climbing within a game now.
They just lost to y'all, so they're not climbing to anything, are they?
I'm going to tell you.
Minnesota. Cleveland's going to take y'all's division?
Well, like I said, I always look at them when you get to 52 losses and see where they're at, if they're a plus or they're a minus. You know, and right now they're looking pretty good at 28 and 23.
Run differential's not that good, though.
Indians' run differential is plus 25. Twins negative 15 right now. Yankees plus 64. Orioles negative 2. Machado gets hot. I mean, that's going to change that, I would imagine. Red Sox plus 31. The whole division in the East looks pretty good. Out West, it looks like a dumpster fire. Besides the Astros,
Houston running away.
You know,
but are they that good, or is just everybody else that bad? I mean,
I think they're that good when you look and say your second place team is the Angels.
I'd say
that whole division's bad.
Seth.
I mean, but my whole thing. I remember a couple weeks ago I was in here with y'all off the air, and I said the Nationals would be the first to clinch a spot, and I completely brain farted on that one. The Astros probably going to be the first to clinch at this rate. I mean, they're already, 10 games up on second?
12.5 now.
12.5. I mean, and they've got they're a young, exciting, fun team to watch.
Yeah. It's almost as big a lead as the Nationals in the East. Nationals 11 games up on the Mets. The Braves have fell out of second place down to third, 8 games under 500, Terry. They're actually got a worse record than you guys, but they're in third place. You can transfer to the East if you want.
And I will say this about the Astros, too. That, remember a couple of years ago, back when I still got Sports Illustrated, they made a bold prediction 2014 saying the Astros would be your 2017 World Series champions with all this young talent they've got.
Really?
Yeah, so
somebody got lucky, didn't
they? Yeah, they got lucky there. They might get lucky, but want to say that about the Astros. You know, they got Jose Altuve, Springer, Dallas Keuchel, just lots of young guys. So that
Russ Springer makes a living tattooing baseball.
Well, what's bad about baseball, and it's tough on that, and I think, you know, one thing they may have to do at one point is they got to figure out a way to reduce the games of the 162, and because you look at the fans. Did you see the attendance the other night at the Tampa game? 1,500 people. 1,500 people at a Major League Baseball game. And but you look at it, Terry, you know, you see the Mets, Braves, Marlins, Phillies all with losing records there. What do those fans have to do for – I mean, they have 110 more games left. Not 20, not 30, not 60, 110 more games. Unless something miraculous happens, they have no reason to watch the rest of the year. Not only that, let's say the thing to what stuff about baseball is the draft. Say in football and basketball, you're looking for immediate help. Mm-hmm. In baseball, you're not getting immediate help. You have to make off-season good decisions. You have to draft well over a period of time.
You have to develop players.
Bring them up through the minors. There's no, hey, I'm going to get immediate help unless you buy somebody or trade for somebody. It's just it's tough in baseball, and for fans, I think, you know, you go to sleep over years and years and years if your team isn't successful. It's tough. I just don't, you know. I think they have a problem with it. It's, you know, the sacred numbers of baseball have been destroyed anyway. Would be my point at some point whenever this argument starts. You know, Pujols is chasing 600 and almost nobody cares. There's no been suspicion of him in steroids now because of what happened, how the numbers have been destroyed by people who did. So it's just going to be tough on fans. In baseball, I think, you know, it is tough on fans. 1,000 people, y'all. I mean, there's more people, hopefully, at these state championship games or in the World Series game. And we know there's more at the World Series games than here in Shelby.
I will say, you know, Tampa Bay's, you know, always been like this, and I think it kind of hurts when you have multiple teams in one state, like Florida has, and we've seen that with the NFL, NBA. They've had trouble with attendance in that state, but you know, the Rays, other than 2008 and 2011, they've really not been any good.
Yankees are having problems selling games out.
Well, they're asking.
Probably cost an arm and a leg.
But that's true too. I mean, they've got to the baseball teams got to the point where they're getting so much money from the TV where they don't care.
And they're making a lot of money.
And they don't have to sell the seats now. They sell the season tickets. Is what they want to sell, so they sell the seat for a certain amount of games is what they want to sell. After that, they could care if you come or not because they've already got the TV money, And then, the Cavaliers, they're paying, 20-something more years now they're paying on their stadium that LeBron's in right now.
Yeah.
You don't think they're going to want a new stadium, ask for a new stadium in the next 25 years?
Oh, yeah.
Heck, the Cavs are losing money.
Yeah, they're going to want money back after LeBron's gone, and they may end up moving or something.
But, this is why they add a different team to get into the playoffs. Keeps more involved.
I would like to expand the playoffs and have more series instead. More.
Is that good for Washington and Houston, who are running away with their divisions?
Well, no, but there's 100. I'm looking.
And then all of a sudden they can't win a World Series title because too many people in it.
Well, Terry, I'm not worried about Houston or Washington. I'm worried about baseball. So basketball lets 16 teams in, right? First round, they take care of those teams anyway, right? Wouldn't it be more exciting? My point is, wouldn't it be more exciting watching Washington stomp somebody in a 3 out of 5 game series than watching them play the Giants next weekend in a 4-game set for no reason? Play 120 games, expand the playoffs. You got 16.
What would you go to? Would you go to a best 2 out of 3 or just one game?
2 out of 3 is 2. I go 3 out of 5 the first rounds, and until you get to the National League Championship and the World Series and go 7.
Okay, well, I keep looking at it like this. When the Dodgers had Greinke and they had Kershaw, they had 2 studs they could stick out there against somebody, and maybe number 3 man was no good.
Well, you adapt to the rules. NASCAR does this every year.
I know. But what if they had a bad year and all of a sudden you got 2 studs you're going to have to face?
Well, everybody has a bad year. The baseball players are luck right now, Terry.
I don't like how the playoffs with the one game.
That's what I'm saying. That's luck. That's complete
I think
luck.
that's kind of harsh.
You play 162
for one game.
It takes 162 to figure out which one of y'all is better. But tonight we're going 9 innings.
Yeah, and I had to pitch my stud the last game of the year to get in.
to get to this game.
Yeah, those are the ones that do not bother me.
Well, the thing about it is they say depth, right, Smoke? You need depth.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, just ideas shooting out there maybe in the future. I would like to, if you're going to expand. If taking away regular season games but keeping, making playoffs, that's fine with me. But if you're just, the whole takeaway games for takeaway game's sake, I'm not saying that. If you're going to expand the playoffs, it would be nice. And you just got to get the fans more involved. Real quick before we get next break, I think Brewers in the Central 1.5 game lead over the Cardinals. They got drunk come out in first. How in the world did Milwaukee get in first?
I have no idea.
Cardinals in second.
Don't feel bad.
Cubs are in third. Reds in fourth. Pirates in fifth. Pirates in last. Only 4 games out of first there in Central. Anybody's ball game in the Central.
Cubs lose 6 straight and only 2 back.
Yep. Anybody's ball game in the East.
Pretty dangerous.
Almost anybody's ball game in the American League Central. If Kansas City puts together a 5-game winning streak here, so. Best streaks in baseball over the last few weeks. Toronto Blue Jays, or last 10 days, Toronto Blue Jays 8-2.
Still last.
Washington Nationals 8-2. Miami Marlins 7-3. Dodgers 7-3. And Padres 7-3.
Back to division.
Dodgers went 7-3. I'll be by the Cardinals.
Divisions real quick. NL West could get interesting because you have the surprises in Arizona and Colorado.
3 teams all have 34 teams, right?
That could
34
be
wins.
Team fight to follow too.
Yeah, and Colorado's probably the best hitting team in that division, and it's a hitter's ballpark that they play at Coors Field. And then Arizona, I think they're starting to reap the benefits of Zach Greinke, and Paul Goldschmidt. I think is the most underrated player in the league, probably one of the best first basemen in the league as well. So, it's pretty big for Arizona because they haven't really done anything since 2007. So, but still very long ways away from the season really getting ending. And I think, it's been around this time where we have usual fight, and we got that Monday between Hunter Strickland and Bryce Harper, as Strickland looked like he held a grudge that was over 3 years old, which I don't really understand considering.
I'm glad Smoke brought that up, Terry. I'm going to fix baseball and the hits and everything right now. Let's change it. I'm going to change baseball. You're an umpire. You've watched baseball all your life. New idea. Revolutionize it. Are you ready?
I'm listening.
You look like you're on the edge of the seat. Hits batsman, right? Whether on purpose or not. 2 bases. Would that stop the fighting? Or half of them? Would that stop some of the silliness?
Not if he's a leadoff man or something like that. They might hit him on purpose still.
2 bases.
I don't think that would change.
All hits batsman, 2 bases. Smoke, what do you think?
I don't know.
I mean, what if you throw in a curve?
Who cares? You get 2 bases. That's the new rule.
Yeah. I mean, everybody can be perfect, but I mean, these guys are elite at pitching, but sometimes they
and the penalty is now 2 bases. That makes you concentrate harder. Quit hitting people with 90-mile-per-hour baseballs.
Yeah. Well, Harper had it right. At least he didn't throw at his head.
Well, you never know. What if it would have slipped?
You know.
and I think Strickland, I don't think – usually when these guys hit the guys on purpose, they have a plan. They have it planned out of what they're going to do. This one seemed like Strickland went rogue because you saw Buster Posey just didn't even try to get in front of Bryce Harper during that situation. And, you know, basically we're thinking that Strickland's holding a grudge from the NLDS a couple years ago where Bryce Harper hit 2 home runs, which makes no sense to me whatsoever considering you won a World Series and Bryce Harper still never made it to the National League Championship Series. So it's pretty stupid, I think, if you're Hunter Strickland when you've got a ring out of that whole season and you're still mad at Bryce Harper for hitting a home run and maybe celebrating about it. I mean, in my opinion, these pitchers can't get mad at the batters for doing bat flips when after they get a crucial strikeout in the game, they do a fist pump. They do like the Tiger fist pump, which we'll get in him later, I guess, and just go out and celebrate. It's a two-way street, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, you just gave up a ball. You just saw a ball go 400 feet. Most pitchers, I would imagine, Terry, don't even see the bat flip, right? Aren't they usually watching the ball?
Most of the time.
What's it?
I think a lot of people, though, after Bautista did his stuff, everybody now is paying more attention to a batter.
Yeah.
What he does after he hits one.
We arguing over hurt feelings. It's just so silly. But like I said, give him 2 bases. I mean, I know in 9-0 game that probably ain't going to change anything. Yeah. But for the most part, maybe so.
And I'll say this too. You know, you say act like you've been there.
Because there's more people on base, Terry. That 2 base thing, they ain't going to do that. It's moving people up.
Well, it is.
That'd be changing. Go ahead, son.
And I'd say, you know, people will probably say to Bryce Harper and guys like that, you know, act like you've been there before. But, you know, these guys only get hits 30 out of 100% of the 100 at-bats. I mean, so, and that's a Hall of Fame career if you hit 300. Yep. So it's not like they really get hits that often. It's a pretty big deal when they get hits, you know? And especially most of the time now that 270, I think, would now be considered an average around that point when back then, you know, 300, I think, was considered an average at one point. You're not getting hits every time. It's not like you're scoring a touchdown every game or something. So that's, I think, stupid argument too. And I just think that stuff like this is really hurting baseball in the long run. As you know, people just,
they got a lot of things going against them. They got to figure it out. All right, getting ready for today's action as Crest High School in the state championship once again today. 101.5 FM, 1390 AM. You can listen on KTCBroadcasting.com on the WHS channel, the Ustream channel. Click on there. You can listen to Andy Foster and Paul Foster. They'll have all the coverage today. A little bit more. Talk a little bit more about yesterday's game. Steve Hodge went. Coach Hodge. I mean, Steve Hodge. What am I talking about? Yeah, Stephen Hodge. Said that he went Dennis Green on a smoke. Talking about the pitcher for Northern Guilford who 4-hit him. He said he was what we thought he'd be. That's a lot. That's really close to they were who they thought we were.
And we let him off the hook.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't as angry as stuff, but Coach Hodge in the game.
You want to crown him?
Yeah, if you want to crown him, I guess they might be crowned if they don't get it figured out today. But 4-hitter yesterday for Cotter. Did it say he's going to NC State? Did I see Terry? There you go. So you got a pitcher going to the Wolfpack there. You talk about Wolfpack baseball day. As soon as I walked in the door, how you guys are still surviving. He's talking about, for you Tar Heel fans, he's rubbing it in. If it makes any sense to you that he's rubbing it in, that state's lasted longer than
one of the top 8 teams in the country, and you lose to Davison.
Well, the Western Carolina beat NC State.
Obviously, they're not one of the top 8 teams in the country, right, Terry?
Well, I guess not.
That's how it works. I mean, Davison is. We'll let Terry talk about a little bit more. But real quick, as far as Crest today, guys, 11 o'clock is the first game. If they win, they'll play at 5. Our coverage starts 30 minutes prior to that. If you want to listen to the pregame coverage from Andy Foster And Paul Foster, I'm sure he's talked to the coaches and everybody today, talked to some fans, got the mood for the Chargers. You know, it haven't had this situation in baseball for Crest before, but they've been in this situation in football, Final Four in basketball, so they've had experience as a school and a fan base with this, but not so far in the baseball series, right?
First time ever.
It's just
for them in the baseball.
And it's, I guess it's weird, you know, that maybe they don't know what to expect, what to do. It's a new time, you know. But today they got to come out hitting, you know. You know, wake up. It's a new day. You saw the race yesterday, and you almost beat him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had your chances. So you only lost by 2. You got 2 runs on him. I mean, his ERA was better than that. So you got a chance today. Come out, swing the bats, and see what happens.
Yeah, and, you know, it looked like they were going to get back into that game because they scored a run into 6th inning, but unfortunately they gave up another run in the 6th inning, so it would have been real hard to get 2 runs in the top of the 7th. So, I mean, it's not like they got blown out in game 1. So they're there, and when you see your ace, I think that may give you some confidence saying, hey, we should probably take game 2 here.
All right, when we get back, we're going to talk, finish up on our next segment. We're going to finish up baseball for the day with a little college and a little American Legion baseball. We're going to find some stuff to talk about Terry's Wolfpack and those Davidson Wildcats, I guess. And we'll talk a little post 100, post 45, post 82 non-action, I guess, for post 82. They've got a new schedule that came out again, as American Legion does every day. It's tough between the weather and other factors. American Legion baseball. All right, guys, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Talk about that on WCSL 1590 AM, WLON 1050, and KTCBroadcasting.com.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with my co-host Darius Rucker, who answers the question, what do you talk about with the president?
Golf. We talk about golf.
That's Darius Rucker this week on Country Countdown USA.
Country Countdown USA, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Big O Country, 1590 AM WCSL, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com. From lawn and garden to heavy duty, farm and fleet, marine, ATV, and complete passenger car and truck coverage, CarQuest has batteries for over 230 million vehicles on the road today. Eddie's Auto Parts, located at 2514 East Main Street in Lincoln, is your local CarQuest Auto Parts affiliate. Be sure to visit them today or give them a call at 704-732-0769.
Roll in to CarQuest and roll on.
Honey, I am officially on break.
Huh?
This cold McDonald's McCafe drink is really chilling me out.
Oh, me too. I'm officially on break from worrying about the weird sound coming from the garbage disposal.
And I'm officially on break from having to think about cleaning out the garage.
You've been thinking about that for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it's about time I had a break from thinking about it.
For a limited time, get every size soft drink or Mickey D's sweet tea for $1. Or a small McCafe frappe smoothie or shake for just $2. Prices and participation may vary. A la carte only.
What's that howling?
Nothing to be afraid of. This is Coyote Tractor Country, mister. That howling just means somebody's bought another hard-working Coyote tractor.
If you're in the market for a hard-working, affordable 20 to 90 horsepower compact tractor, test drive a Coyote today.
You heard the man. Now get going. You're burning daylight, mister. Visit www.kioti.com.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail.
The incredible biscuit from Mitchem's Kitchen. Need to come up with one, Terry. Your favorite biscuit. Just come up. We're going to call it the Terry Reinhardt Incredible Biscuit. Mitchem will sell. They'll sell all kinds of them, won't they? What would you put on your incredible biscuit?
Bologna, liver mush,
and mayonnaise
on the bun.
is that on the menu, or is that your Terry Reinhardt special?
Mine.
Is that Terry special?
That's it.
Terry Reinhardt special.
The Texas Terry
the
special.
Texas Terry. My favorite is eggs and old turkey, tomato, and mayonnaise on some type of toast. Texas toast is the best, but I don't really matter. But so some type of that combination is one of my favorites. Looking across the board real quick, let's talk a little bit about the college baseball scene. Terry, you want to talk about the Wolfpack real quick?
Yeah, they trailed Indiana most of the game, and they ended up coming back in 12 innings and winning 7-6 to advance on and be in the winners bracket final today. Well, in winners bracket, top bracket of the final. Put it like it ain't at the championship. Championship ain't till Sunday, but moved on to the finals of that bracket. Carolina suffered a loss 8-4 to Davidson. And me and Seth were trying to remember who all won. We saw that Florida State got beat. Wake Forest had no trouble winning in their thing over at Winston-Salem. That's impressive for me. Wake Forest playing at home, got some tournament games over there. Won pretty easy. I think 11-3, 11-4, and we're still trying to.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all the scores for here, Terry. Up. Here's the.
There we go.
Some of these sports are buried, like NASCAR, under WWE and other things on some of these sports websites. It's just silly. NCAA tournament schedules and results. Friday, game 1, LSU and Texas Southern. LSU wins 15-7. Game 2 with Southern Louisiana. They won 12-6 over Rice. Saturday, this is the Baton Rouge sectional. Friday in Chapel Hill, Florida Gulf Coast 10, Michigan 6.
Yeah, they're known more for their basketball. They got a good baseball team this year.
Interesting note that there are only 2 schools this year that were in the tournament that are in there for the first time. They're both in Chapel Hill, Florida Gulf Coast and Davidson.
And they both won over Michigan and North Carolina. Davidson 8-4 winners over the Tar Heels here today. It'll be Michigan, North Carolina, Davidson, Florida Gulf Coast. So we'll get somebody that's going to be a heartbroken team today. And a very, very happy team today.
Yeah, a lot of people would have looked at that and they'd have never thought those would be the 2 teams playing in the winners bracket final, and Michigan and Carolina playing in the losers.
Sunday. Had Clemson, Doug Kinsmore Stadium, Vanderbilt 13, St. John's 4. Clemson won 5-4 over UNC Greensboro. Today, Clemson will play Vanderbilt, and St. John's will play UNC Greensboro. At Goss Stadium at Coleman Field in Corvallis, Yale defeats Nebraska 5-1, and Oregon State defeats Holy Cross 8-2. And I just looking at those names in a baseball field in the middle of the country, I can only imagine there's not too many people at those games, right?
Oregon State, number 1.
Yale, Nebraska, Oregon State, and Holy Cross baseball matchups.
It's at Oregon State. Oregon State, the number 1 team in the entire country. They've been really solid all year.
That's crazy.
They were number 1. Carolina was number 2.
Yale, Holy Cross, and Oregon State. I hear you guys. Nebraska plays Holy Cross today. Oregon State will play the Yale team. Missouri State and Oklahoma State. Missouri State wins by 1 over Oklahoma State. Arkansas 3-0 over Oral Roberts out in Baum Stadium in Fayetteville. Lipton Stadium in Fort Worth. Dallas Baptist.
Pretty good baseball team out there every year.
Against Virginia was postponed. These games were rained out. Central Connecticut State and TCU. Gainesville, Florida, 10-6 over Marist. South Florida, 9-1 over Bethune-Cookman. That was a Florida regional, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was, certainly.
Friday, June 2nd at Hattiesburg, Pete Taylor Park. Southern Miss won 8-7 over Illinois Chicago. Game 2, South Alabama, 6-3 over Mississippi State. They play Saturday today, Chicago and Mississippi State, South Alabama, Southern Miss. In Houston at Schrader Park, Houston loses 6-3 to Iowa. Texas A&M wins 8-5 over Baylor. A lot of the high seeds were destroyed.
Yeah, and I was watching that game. I was watching that game last night between Iowa and Houston. Houston had plenty of chances, but couldn't never come through with a big hit during the game.
Kentucky over Ohio 6-4. NC State 7-6 winners over Indiana, and took you 12 innings, Terry. You got Kentucky today at 7:00 on the 3rd at ESPN. I guess that's online, right?
Yeah. And that's amazing because it's almost the second time that we've ever played Indiana in baseball. We're 1-1 against them. I think the last time we played them was way back in 1951, and we lost to them.
Yeah. Over in Blair Field, Long Beach, Long Beach State wins 6-0 over San Diego State. Texas over UCLA 3-2. Out in Louisville, Jim Patterson Stadium, Louisville 11-6. Terry, how do you say Louisville?
Louisville.
Is that how you say it? Yeah. Oh, okay. Just want to make sure when we get to basketball, y'all write that down. Then make sure he says Louisville the rest of the time. Oklahoma 7-2 over Xavier.
I want to say something about Louisville. Their minor league team, I believe, since we're coming up on about the 1-year anniversary, is of Muhammad Ali's death. I think they're wearing some Muhammad Ali tribute jerseys. So I thought that was pretty cool that they're doing that.
All right, looking back across that. Lubbock Field, Texas Tech, 5-2 over Delaware. Sam Houston State, 5-4 over Arizona. Well, Texas Tech was the 1 seed, of course. Stanford, Klein the Field at Sunken Diamond. Anybody know anything about that name?
No.
Nothing. Klein Field at Sunken Diamond. Why it's called Sunken Diamond?
Not as much of a college baseball expert, so I'm not sure why it's
Stanford 10-0 over Sacramento State. Cal State Fullerton 13-2 over BYU.
And I always love it when you get to baseball because you mention teams like Cal State Fullerton, Rice, Houston Baptist.
That was on Thursday.
Yeah, those teams always
Long
have
Beach
decent
State.
baseball squads.
Doesn't play on Sunday, so they
okay, so BYU played again last night, and they beat Sacramento State 6-1. Cal State Fullerton then beat Stanford 4-1. So they're already a day ahead of everybody else. Auburn and Tallahassee beats University of Central Florida 7-4. Go ahead.
Story time with Uncle Seth. The reason why it's called Sunken Diamond is because when the adjacent football stadium was originally built in 1921, dirt was excavated from the site of the future baseball stadium, which created a sunken field a decade later. Hence the term Sunken Diamond.
Thank you. Story time with Seth Eves today. You can follow him at
Sports Junkie 94.
Yeah, and find all kinds of fun stories with Seth. Story time. That'll be your hashtag, Seth. For now, story time with Seth.
As I think we saw in some of the other regions, of course, Florida State lost. College baseball really gets fun around this time, I would say, because I remember last year watching a lot of it when Coastal Carolina went on that run, and it was amazing that sudden death game they had in the College World Series. I think that's probably one of the best things I've seen from college baseball. And of course,
I'm sorry, real quick, my thing, obviously, I love it like I do all college sports. The thing is, it starts so early, like it's in the middle of basketball season when it starts.
It does.
So by the time basketball, you can focus on baseball and softball. It's kind of already in there. Of course, college softball's in its World Series, and it's drawing unbelievable crowds.
And college baseball is one of them things that, do you think you have time? Yes, you do. State, one time this year, we were below 500, and then we moved up to where we was like 20 and 20, 21 and 20, and then we went on a run, winning like 14 of our next 15 games, for State to be in this situation they're in now. So it's always been a plus. We started the season pre-ranked number 6 in the country, but that deteriorated really quick because we couldn't ever get started. But as it started getting warmer, State started getting better.
And I think the reason college baseball is not as big is because you don't see as much coverage on it from some of the national networks. It's harder to get some of these games. You have to go to the local networks. So
SEC Network, Big Ten Network, Pac-12 Network, they do a great job with it. ESPNU has the occasional game.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to try to get some of the national coverage because I know not everyone gets the Big Ten or the Pac-12 or SEC network. I only get one of those channels, so it's pretty hard.
All right, guys. Let's see. Did we finish that up? Or do I got another place to go here on the? We still got some more places. Winston-Salem. God, this is never-ending college. How many teams?
I know. That's what I'm saying. There's so many regionals.
Wake Forest 11-3. West Virginia 9-1 over Maryland.
That's it.
The Super Regionals are June 9th.
14 regionals.
Here's the rest of your schedule. Super Regional Final on June 9th through 12th. Best of 3 at the campuses. Then that College World Series start TD Ameritrade Park in Omaha June 17th through 24th. The finals June 26th through 28th there. Sorry, I coughed right into the microphone there. Real quick, let's do some notes from around some of our area sports. Son Whiteside bought his mama house in Mount
great.
Holly. Is that good news for the Charlotte Hornets one day? Maybe.
I don't know. I just think it's a sign, paying back to his mom after.
That's who the Celtics need, Terry. Right now, they had him.
We do need a rim.
Y'all had him. Whew.
It's funny that they were blaming him at the midpoint of the season for the Heat struggles when it wasn't his fault. He was actually playing real well.
His job scored 20, 30 points a game. His job scored to get 10, 15 rebounds a game. That's what he does.
About 15 points. And he was doing great. He was doing great this year, so it's glad to see a local kid doing well. Also,
another former basketball transfer from our area, Isaiah Whaley. Folks remember him from Ashbrook, did their games on KTC Broadcasting as they went to the Final Four there in the state championship game. He is going to UConn, Terry.
Wow.
UConn, big tall kid, and UConn's no joke there in basketball. So big time for that.
Also, congrats to Zeke Bigger, the former Ashbrook standout in football. He signed a 3-year deal with the Carolina Panthers, so pretty big deal for him.
Well, what is that as far as making the team, depth chart, stuff like that?
He might make special teams. He'll be fighting with guys like Ben Boulware, I think, for some of the last roster spots, but he'll probably be on the practice squad. Of course, he was on rookie practice squads last year and made it to the Panthers this year, so pretty big step in the right direction for Mr. Bigger, but unfortunately he's the linebacker depth chart in Carolina is pretty deep, so it's going to be hard.
All right, Post 82 had some new schedule changes for you folks. You Crest fans wondering what's going on. They play Monday, June 5th at Huntersville, 7 o'clock. Tuesday at home versus Union County. Wednesday at Gaston Braves. I think that's at Belmont Abbey this year.
Yes.
And Thursday at Kings Mountain. We have Atlanta Braves coverage across the board on that. We may be able to bring you a live internet-only coverage of a game. We'll get back to you on that Monday or Tuesday. It would be either Wednesday or Thursday's game, either at the Braves or at Kings Mountain, for us to be able to bring you coverage of that online only. But follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and everything. KTC Broadcasting at KTC Scores. Use your hashtag KTC Scores. KTC Sports for news and information such as schedule changes and more. All right, time for another break. When we come back, it's NBA Finals. Time to talk about that. And then we're going to end the show. We got some news and notes across the board. We got NASCAR to talk about. We got to finish up our coverage from Charlotte these past couple of weeks. College transfer, controversy going around
with local kids. Yeah.
The whole Jordan LeBron stuff. May get into that. Rashad McCants. Is he Benedict Arnold, or is he the snitch everyone hates at Carolina? Is he telling the truth, or why would he make it up? He's NC State fans' favorite player right now, it seems, Terry.
Everybody thought Jose Canseco was lying too.
Yeah. Well, you wonder why people say
he was telling the truth.
Why would people say the things they do? They just don't make up crazy stuff. Panthers, Kaepernick and Macklin, should they be on the team? Should the Panthers go after them? And Tiger Woods, y'all. We got a little bit to talk about him, I guess, maybe a little bit. But next up, we'll talk NBA Finals. The Durantula has been unleashed in Golden State. We'll be right back. KTCBroadcasting.com.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with my co-host Darius Rucker, who answers the question, what do you talk about with the president?
Golf. We talk about golf.
That's Darius Rucker this week on Country Countdown USA.
Country Countdown USA, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Big O Country, 1590 AM WCSL, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
No doubt about it, when you go to the Parkway House in Cherryville, you'll come back, and you'll come back soon. Be sure to check out their daily breakfast and lunch specials. They're changing every day. All your breakfast favorites with down-home cooking, both for lunch and dinner. Bring the family out to the Parkway House Family Restaurant, 1011 East Church Street in Cherryville. Open Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. till 9:30 p.m. Saturdays, 7 till 10. Sundays, 7 till 9:30 p.m. The Parkway House in Cherryville.
Check out what the Green Meadows Golf Club on Kelly Road in Mount Holly has to offer. On Wednesday, you can play all day for $28, including cart and green fee. And ladies, Wednesday is your day too. Ladies play and ride all day for only $15. To make your tee time, call the Green Meadows Golf Club at 704-827-9264. You'll love it. The Green Meadows Golf Club, located at 957 Kelly Road in Mount Holly. Come see what they have to offer.
The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
There's only one place to go for expert auto and truck repair in this area. All Ray Tire, 401 Main Street, Cherryville. Soon to start another location across the street at 500 Main Street. Known for North Carolina inspections, brakes, oil changes, tires, and more, All Ray is soon to offer car and truck detailing and accessories for your car and truck. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Call 704-802-4048 to schedule your next oil change or brake service. All Ray Tire, Cherryville, proud supporters of local American Legion and high school baseball.
Manu Ginobili.
I mean, you can't. He's been in the league for how long, and you still can't pronounce his name right?
Terry just called him Manio Ginobili.
Well,
that biscuit's gotten to him this morning. The itty bitty teeny weeny yellow pocket top bikini that Terry
but Ginobili's
last time.
And what's the stuff we're disguising in between? But he's way better than Cody Zeller.
Yeah, Terry bringing up.
That's not even funny.
No,
you're comparing a Hall of Famer to a 20.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But he's in the top
probably
100.
the second best. Not European, foreign player of all time.
Right behind Dirk.
It depends if you want to count Elijah Wan.
Elijah. Yeah, I forget. Yeah,
if you want to count Elijah, if Elijah Wan's officially foreign, which he is, he's born in Nigeria.
Yeah, but these are the things that bother me the most when I see stuff like this and somebody trying to tell me.
Terry's talking about the top 100 players in the NBA.
Yeah, take too much into this stuff.
He found a list and he's got mad about it.
I have. Every time I see stuff like that.
We can just make our own list, Terry. Why
that's what I need to do.
Somebody else's opinion. He's mad about where some of the Hornets are, why there's so many in the top 100, I guess.
Yeah, the Hornets should be playing for NBA title.
4 players in the top 100 and they're 12th in the East. So it's either bad coaching or something, or that list is wrong. Probably the list is wrong, Terry. But I love me some Ginobili and some Dirk. NBA Finals, the Durantula blows open in the Cavs. Are they just too much for the Cavs to be able to guard? I want to make some quick points, and I'll let you guys talk about it. Just looking at matchups per se. Golden State's what's going to make the difference in this series, I think, by adding Durant. Now you've got the best, and I've been saying it, back throughout the year. They got the best point guard, shooting guard, and small forward. Point guard, shooting guard, and small forwards in the whole NBA, the whole league. So it used to be if Steph wasn't hitting and Clay was, they're going to beat you anyway. It used to be, or one or the other. Now there's the third one that could do the exact same thing and get hot and drop 30 if they get hot. And at Draymond Green the other point in the night, and halfway through the third quarter, didn't even have a point, and they're up 20-something. Klay Thompson ain't hit nothing, and they're up 20-something. So what I'm getting at is say, Kyrie, if he scores 30 and LeBron scores 30, Terry, and they're all 2-pointers, because that's what they're giving them as layups. What they did on defense, if you'd watched them, Golden State stayed on the 3-point shooters. Said you go ahead, Kyrie and LeBron, y'all try to take it, and then McGee and Pachulia and then everybody else fouled them or tried to knock them off the block or whatever. When they did drive, make them make free throws. Make them shoot free throws and 2-point layups, and you're not going to out 3-point those three guys. It's just almost impossible. And Golden State's got in a position to I jokingly said sweep. NBA wouldn't let them have it, but I mean, it's not. It won't surprise me. What do you think, Terry?
It would definitely, it would not surprise me. I mean, the other night when they come out to start the third quarter, and Cleveland was within 8. I mean, they were in the game, but when they come out and start the third quarter and they went on that run and put the game away, Cleveland had no answer. Nothing that they could do. Durant was pulling up where he wanted to. Steph Curry pulling up where he wanted to. Defensive-wise, and I still say Draymond Green's probably the best guy on, and this a lot of people going to say, well, you're crazy. But I think he's one of the best guys that's on Golden State's team because he understands his role as a player and what he should do. And is he doing his job? Yes, he is. I mean, that's just like the intentional foul that he got on LeBron, that he's the one who really committed the foul, but the foul got called against LeBron, and LeBron was mad. But what Draymond did, he did his thing. He got the call against LeBron, and, and he went to the line. But, I mean, there's just so many things that guy can do. But I don't think they have a chance. Maybe 4-1.
I mean,
maybe.
I mean, look at it. Let's say LeBron and Durant even up. Well, Kyrie and Steph even up. Well, can Love do as much or more than Clay and Draymond? I mean, you relying on Darren Williams and Kyle Korver, Channing Frye.
I think that's where your big question's got to come in. Love has to step up. Because
See,
I don't
LeBron
think they
can't play center field
no,
in this,
he cannot.
In this,
well, LeBron,
like he used to, like he does in every other series.
Durant. I'll put that,
And nobody can really guard Durant. What is he? I think he's fourth all-time scoring average, folks. All-time fourth, Kevin Durant. So that, I mean, it's Michael, Wilt. I can't remember who's third, and then on scoring average, and then Durant. I mean, he's a mess to
I just
deal
think
with.
that's a whole mess anyway, because I don't think, and as I said that, I'm sitting back thinking, well, I don't think Durant could guard LeBron neither. If they had to daggone play and it was just a one-on-one matchup, I think both of them would end up. Durant would have more shots from the outside, but LeBron would kill him on the inside.
And I'll say this though, I think what a lot of people are overlooking somewhat is, I don't think you're going to see Cleveland turn it over 20 times in Game 2.
No,
and I don't think Golden State will only turn it over 4 times. I think it will return to a mean. And a lot of the points Golden State scored was on turnovers.
Well, let me tell you this.
And fast break points.
It was a physical game.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad
they'll let them play physical in Golden State. There is no way on God's green earth they're going to let them play physical in Cleveland.
Well, and Cleveland plays better at home.
LeBron and the Floppers are going to get every touch foul and every little thing. That's their LeBron and Kyrie. Their game is dependent on contact. Speaking of that, the ridiculous 3-point shot that Kyrie threw up, Terry, that is not a 3-point foul. The James Harden, you're dribbling the basketball. Someone bumps you in the back. That's a blocking foul, right, Terry? And then you shoot a 3-pointer and just throw
continuation.
It up. That is not a shooting
in the NBA
foul.
Is a continuation.
So no matter what, according to that logic, anytime anyone touches you, you should immediately flail and just swing the ball up in the air.
Kind of reminds me of Dwayne Wade.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Look, Terry and everyone else knows, looking at it, you know the difference between a real shot and not a shot. If you were bumped in the back and then shoot, it's not that hard to say. What did I just say? The words that just came out of my mouth, Terry. You were bumped in the back and then shot. A shooting foul is you were shooting
and then
you were bumped in the back. Come on, that's just the most ignorant thing that I can't believe. The NBA, they've evolutionized from the traveling and the carrying and letting you do all that. But that right there is just ridiculous. As a guard, put me in the NBA right now. I will go out there and score 20 just doing that right there, because that's all people do is just bump you.
Well, give credit, Kyrie actually made the shot.
Oh, the one Kyrie did was just ridiculous. He just tossed that thing up and it went in. I ain't even mad that it went in. The NBA refs deserve that ball going in, because that's how dumb of a call that was. I laughed at that part of it, because that's what they get. That just makes me so mad. As just someone who's played with basketball court, that's not a foul. I mean, what are you playing defense, Terry? Right? You're bumping people playing defense, and if the refs want to call it, you guys call it if it impedes it. But I mean, how often do you call blocking fouls?
Well, it all depends.
Unless it's just flagrant, But that right there, even if Kyrie wouldn't have shot that ball and thrown that up and flailed, and he bumped him and he continued dribbling, would have been called. If his next move would have been a dribble,
probably not.
That's how bad a call that was.
Yeah,
because he just bumped him from behind is basically all it was, and he just It was just silly. And I was making a joke about it, Smokey. None of this started, Terry, until Coach K started coaching the Team USA. Right. Well, we didn't see flopping and flailing except for Rodman and all this stuff. Until Coach K started coaching NBA, and all of a sudden, Duke basketball, Team USA, here we go. So Smoke's grinning because he knows it's true.
Haters gonna hate.
He knows it's true. Coach K started all this. He had all this charging and flopping and kicking and flailing. All right, guys, that's funny. But anyway, Game 2 is tomorrow night, Sunday, 8 p.m. Terry, 2-0 Warriors.
That's what I'm going with.
Seth, 2-0 Warriors. He gives the thumbs up from the studio.
I think this one will be a little closer, but yeah, 2-0 Warriors. And people are overreacting to I think the blowout because you look at last year's series, the average point differential I think was 17 points. The only game that was within single digits was Game 7. So come on.
That's why people don't understand that, and people can't get about the NBA, today's NBA. I guess it's the 3-point shooting where so teams get hot, they close each other out, and you win by 17 or 15 points, and the next night you win by 10. That's a 25-point swing.
And there's a lot of Game 1 overreactions. Probably the worst was people saying, "Oh, Warriors should trade Klay Thompson because he couldn't shoot, even though he played elite defense against the Cavs on Thursday night." Like at one point, the Cavs were 0 for 7 from the field. It was just like.
And is that not what a lot of people look at, Smoke? I mean, that's one of the terrible things because that's exactly what they do. They go, well, how many Clay score? Well, he had a bad night. He was 3 out of 14 or something like that. And everybody, well, he's terrible. And I'm like, the guy plays defense, he rebounds, he assists.
He does more than just shoot.
Yeah. It's so. Look, guys, the whole sports atmosphere is so aggravating. From day to day, how someone's terrible, someone's great, someone's this, like we haven't watched Curry and Durant and all these guys for 5, 7, 8 years.
And he can afford to not have a good shooting night.
As a shooter, what do they care? Durant's over shooting 30. As a if you know basketball and you watched Klay play defense the other night, he was in Kyrie's junk. He was in LeBron's junk. He was in everybody's junk the whole night. Once they got inside that 3-point line and went in, if Klay was on him, he was doing an outstanding job as a guard. His feet, guys, is just is amazing. Just watching his feet. If you watch him, a good defender on defense. Watch Darrell Revis. Deion Sanders was the best I ever saw at it. Well, he matching the guy you're guarding's feet. Where their step, you step. Where I go, you go. You hip, my hip, your hip. Yeah. Watch their feet, and Klay's got excellent feet. Every step, it's anticipating.
Yeah,
watch
and a lot of times his first step is beating that guy to that step.
It's so nice, and he's balanced with it. And that's the thing, I think, the hips. Everybody talks about Darrell Revis in a corner. When you turn your hips, you start losing that hip turn. You start getting slower. It changes that. And Klay's excellent with it. And as long as they're winning, and 2 of those guys got 30, I don't think it really matters.
And if this was last year, maybe a little different story, more cause for concern. But you got Durant, who's one of the best small forward guys ever.
Well, who guarded Klay?
J.R. Smith.
Okay, is J.R. going to shut Klay down to 3 of 14 again? I mean, come on. Just see some of the silly fouls he did. He's just an idiot. He's so funny though, but he's just.
And I wonder if Cleveland's going to change their strategy because you saw in some of those fast break points, guys like J.R. Smith were going over to try to defend a 3-point shot when Durant just easily drove it down the lane. Now, it's a problem that you have when you're going against a team like Golden State where they got 3 guys that could be deadly shooters and just,
And Spoke, you said one of the best things. When they're coming down the court, we leave the guy with the ball to go jump on a guy getting ready to shoot a 3. So we forget what basketball is about.
They might as well go guard Rihanna, shouldn't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's got ridiculous of what we're seeing because, you're leaving the guy with the ball. Who's the only guy that can beat you? That guy, because he has the ball.
Durant's dribbling down the middle of the court, and JR's over here face guarding Rihanna.
But on the other end of it, our whole system now is I'm going to stop the 3. They'll only score 2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll give him a dunk. But not a 3-pointer.
It'd be different if they even contested them. Oh, Terry's got a newspaper right here in front of us. There's no one around Durant.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably the one the guy left him.
there's no one around him.
And he's coming in for a dunk.
And the crazy thing about this is neither team really shot the ball well in game
nobody
one.
wants to, it used to be he don't want to end up on a poster. Now nobody wants to end up on a meme on the internet. Now.
The meme has basically replaced a poster.
Yeah.
And, JaVale McGee fell victim to that on Thursday. Of course, a guy like JaVale McGee but falls victim to that, especially with Shaq. But I think games 2, 3, and 4, I don't think it'll be a sweep. I think Cleveland's too good of a team to get swept in the NBA Finals. I don't think they're going to win it, but I still think they're going to make it semi-competitive at least.
All right, guys. So nobody feeling the Cavs on the comeback right now. Only down 1. They're down 3-1 last year and won.
Yeah, they were. I mean, that's one thing we keep forgetting. But also, Golden State didn't have no Durant neither, did they?
No. It's hard for me. I'm not a Warriors fan, but Curry and Durant have been my favorite players. That's the two players that I've watched when I'm not watching the Hornets throughout the years, and now they're together, and now they're beating LeBron, who I'm not really that big of a fan of. I don't hate him. I guess I'm pulling for him. I feel good to watch Curry and Durant play. I think Durant, and I've said it for years, he could be the best, most hard-to-guard scoring person in NBA history.
In my opinion, he's already passed Larry Bird.
I mean, he's tough.
You know what's funny about this? So you look at this series and you can say, I don't like Cleveland because of LeBron. He's only trying to go somewhere he can win a championship and bring people with him, or he goes to Miami where he brings people with him. That's the only reason that they want him to win. A lot of people don't like that. When you look at Durant, he's on the same level, guys, because he's left OKC to go to Golden State to win a title, and there's people out there right now going, I hope he don't win one because that's the only reason he did this.
Well, how many years was he in Oklahoma City?
He was in there for about 10 years, and a lot of the problem that they didn't win a title there is because their owner was cheap and didn't want to pay all those guys.
That's true.
Well,
that's true.
Exactly.
Because Harden and everybody else was there. Think of what they could have.
They could have easily kept Harden and all of them and did the salary tax thing for a couple years and went after it. They could have had Harden, Durant, and
Ibaka.
It's just
but think of that.
But on Durant's end, he's got coming from Oklahoma City. He was there for 10 years, and he played with a with a point guard who shot more than him. Okay, go ahead, Seth.
Back to your point, Terry, talking about how LeBron, was bringing people, and now he's losing to us, the super team. Well, it's interesting. I saw a tweet saying if LeBron is tormented by this Golden State super team the rest of his career, it's going to be like Frankenstein's monster, killed by your own creation.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to think of it, Seth. This is also what he said. About halfway through the year, what did he keep saying? We don't have enough people. Mm-hmm. We need more people.
Well, he started it the whole, you need three, him and his little group of guys, that you need three guys on a team. Over NBA history, you've historically needed three pretty good players on a team to win a championship. And so he instead of waiting for Cleveland to put the three together around him,
he waited a while too.
He jumped ship and went and joined with D Wade and went to try to win his championships. Okay, now Durant gave 10 years over there. His point guard shot more shots than him for 10 years. Durant is still the 4th all-time leading scorer. What would we be looking at if he played with Rondo? What would we be saying about Chris Paul or someone who would be set? Think about the difference. Terry, you know it. The difference between a point guard trying to set you up to score and him shooting, oh my God! Because when he does finally pass it to you, half the time you're not in position to score.
Exactly
so now you're. But if Rondo or someone set him, Durant would be averaging close to Jordan's numbers as far as close to 30. I would honestly feel that way. He's at 27 something right now,
and he's got two
and that's with Russell Westbrook in his career being the point guard, and now the best shooting point guard in NBA history maybe as his point guard. But Steph doesn't going to ball hog it. Steph at least is going to look for him coming up. Now Steph's pull-up threes are just the most. They've made the NBA and that they've made other people think they can do that. That's what's bad about it. Isn't it, Terry? Yeah. Other teams are putting together these 3-point teams trying to be like the Warriors. You can't because Steph Curry is different.
And
pulls up from half court. Was it the 3rd or 5th play of the game in LeBron's face from almost half court?
I mean, LeBron, it's like what can you really do there? It's like
Nothing.
It's nothing.
And once he daggum pumps you to go in, you got to go with him. I mean, there's no way you can react because what are you going to do, let him drive by you?
Yeah.
I mean, you're given either 2 or 3. You have a choice here, and he can do either one.
Yep.
And I'll say this. You can't blame Kevin Durant. You can't blame LeBron James for leaving when fans and the media judge people based on rings. You just can't do that. And
well, what's Durant supposed to do? Is sit there and, okay.
Not win a ring?
How many people in OKC you think are pulling for Durant right now?
Probably none.
Probably less than 20%, if they that much. But I'm giving 20%.
If you're in Durant's in case in Oklahoma City, Terry, and the general managers, and Smoke and everybody, the general managers have gotten rid of all the good players, doesn't want to pay anybody. Are you going to sign a free agent? Is any free agent going to come join them and say, hey, well, Russ is going to get his 25 shots. Durant's going to get his 20 shots. And then when I ask for my money, y'all are going to just trade me or not give it to me. So Durant was in a situation where either I'm going to do this with me and Russ and a bunch of scrubs for the rest of my career, or I'm going to join a team that has the pieces that can compete with LeBron. He could have went to the East and tried to fight LeBron in the East.
He's looking at Boston in his hometown
he
team.
He could have went there and tried to play. He wanted to play LeBron in the finals. Because if he went to the East, he still had to beat the Warriors. He couldn't have joined a team that could beat the Warriors. Would y'all have beat the Warriors? It'd been close, maybe, with Durant.
Yeah, that would have been a difference. Because, I mean, even with Isaiah at, you still had another score.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it'd been close, but would have guaranteed him, maybe getting to 4 or 5 finals, maybe, if this team stays together and pans out. We'll see. All right, guys. NBA Finals tomorrow, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
We'll listen to that. All right, coming up next on our next portion, we got NASCAR to talk about. Kyle Busch is all crying because his crew chief couldn't count gas better than his. I mean, come on. Terry, at Charlotte, gas mileage race, winner, first time. Austin Dillon, the guy that I gave my tickets to, had tickets, and it was the Austin Dillon fan, but he left.
Well, that's good.
But he left.
He left before
he left before the end of Terry. During the first tornado break there. Jimmy comes in second. His mathematician isn't as good as Austin Dillon's. All right, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Talk a little bit about that. WCCL 1590 AM, WLON 1050 AM, and KTCBroadcasting.com.
Kyle Larson to the inside of Matt Kenseth. Chase Elliott's on the scene.
The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series.
Here comes Elliott to the inside of Larson.
The world's best racers battle at the Monster Mile.
An unbelievable drive so far for Chase Elliott.
The AAA Drive for Autism.
He is on the back bumper. Matter of fact, he'll go and give Kenseth a tap. Up the bank he goes, Kenseth.
Sunday at noon on the Motor Racing Network.
The AAA 400 Drive for Autism this Sunday at noon on Big O Country, 1590 AM WCSL, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
Discount Ink Jet and Toner in Shelby has moved to a brand new location. Discount Ink Jet and Toner is now located in Shelby at 114B East Dixon Boulevard. If the cost of ink is driving your profits down, then you need to see Discount Ink Jet and Toner in Shelby and in Gastonia at 410 East Franklin Boulevard. They specialize in refilling inkjet and toner cartridges. Cut your ink costs by as much as 50% or more. Discount Inkjet and Toner, located at 114B East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby and 410 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia.
For excellence in funeral and cremation services, talk with Carpenter Porter Funeral and Cremation Services in Cherryville, promoting the highest ethical and professional standards while maintaining cost-effective service. Call 704-435-6711 or come and talk with funeral directors John Porter and Hannah Garrett, offering you guidance during one of life's most difficult times. Carpenter Porter Funeral and Cremation Service, 1100 East Main Street in Cherryville, a member of the National and North Carolina Funeral Directors Associations. It's the Memorial Day sales event going on now at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Come in now and get up to $5,000 off MSRP on the new 2017 Buick Envision and Buick Enclave. And get 3.9% APR financing on the new 2017 Buick Encore. And all remaining 2016 GMC Sierras in stock are now up to $6,000 off MSRP. all during the Memorial Day sales event going on now at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall.
There you go, Ann. Your new account is now open. Just one more little thing.
Here's your card.
What was that?
It's my new bank. Every time I turn around, I get hit with another fee.
You need to get an account at Carolina Federal Credit Union.
She's right.
Tired of getting hit by bank fees? Switch to Carolina Federal Credit Union today. Make those pains go away.
Here's your receipt.
We're a community bank. That's why we always try to approach things from a community-minded point of view. When something is in the best interest of the communities we serve, it's good for us as well. We're community-minded, just like you.
Carolina Trust Bank, member FDIC. Community-minded, just like you.
We're community-minded, just like you.
Carolina Trust Bank, with 3 offices in Lincoln, also in Gastonia, Denver, Forest City, Hickory, Lake Lure, and Vail. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Going in thorough detail.
Welcome back. I asked Smoke a question. I get a word math problem back to me. I was just confused.
You just got to pay attention.
I know he can't.
He does give you the answer.
How
but
many
you got to pay
full-time
attention.
drivers are there? Well, if you divide the X by the left driver and the Stanley and the DuPont driver, and if they come around turn 4 at 220 miles per hour. Oh, okay. Back to the thing. I was just picking on Smoke a little bit there.
Professor Ludwig.
Kyle Busch picks his nose and whines about losing a gas mileage race. Is the news of this week's NASCAR sports. Terry's new favorite driver, right, Terry?
Hey, that's who I might be pulling for.
That's what you told us just last week.
That's right.
And then now he's on TV picking his nose and crying because he lost a race, Terry. Maybe if he would save gas better, he would have won that race, right?
How does the driver know how far he can go?
They don't really
I mean,
know.
they do not. I mean, they're relying on their crew chief to give them some info.
Why
I
do
mean,
they
Jimmy
still do
Johnson
that?
was crying about that too.
Why do they still do that, though? Why do they still, why do they make them guess how fast they're going?
I mean,
how much gas they have
cars
in the tank?
that we can get in nowadays to tell you when you got less than 10 miles.
I know it. They tell you exactly. At 2.1, 1.9, like but the drivers have these electronic things on their dashboard to follow this information. RPMs, track bar, all this other stuff. They can do anything in the world but tell them how fast they're going and how much gas they got. I mean, it's not that hard, is it? Am I just so dumb with how the cars can or would should be set up that they can't just put 2 sensors on that thing and figure that out somehow? So we don't have speed on pit road and you don't run out of gas unless you really want, or want to or want to push it. But Jimmy's case, he was kind of upset that Chad didn't explain to him what was going on. Thought he could have saved at least 1 lap, I would imagine.
He was about 2 laps short. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess Jimmy, what I thought they were doing, it didn't work out. I thought they were just waiting on the caution. You got to get at Charlotte. You got to have the track position.
Yeah, and that's what Joey Logano
Get out in
was
front.
doing.
Get the track position. Wait on the caution. Change 2 tires if maybe, or change 4 if you think you can just stay out in front and run away if you get the right track position. But I thought that's what they were doing. Didn't get it. Then changed to if we pit, we're not going to win. So hey, let's try to save gas these last 3 or 4 laps, and it just didn't turn out right. And Austin Dillon, he's going to be a name, Smoke. Going to talk a little bit about that.
Well, Austin Dillon, of course, got into the main series in 2014. Didn't really show improvement, I think, till last year. And, of course, made it to the playoffs and made it into the round of 8. So he made a pretty deep run. And, hasn't had the best start to this year. Had a crew chief change. Slugger Labby is no longer the crew chief starting before this race. And he was running pretty solid. And then they just decided to go with some strategy, which, in this case, if you win, you're in. I think is a good idea, and I mean he got his first career win, the first time we've seen the 3-car in victory lane since the Winston 500 back in 2000. So it's been a long time. We can debate whether if it's the right move to see that car back on the track, but it's still somewhat neat to see that number back in victory lane in the main series.
By the way, real quick, y'all were talking about the math. They went on a 70-lap economy run. 70 laps on a tank of gas to win the race.
That's really
and it was
pushing it.
And it's a good thing because he ran out at the finish line.
105 miles. 105 miles a gallon, Terry.
So here
I'm
we
not a
go.
gallon a tank.
Here's a guy who was running between 10th, 12th, somewhere in that the whole race. They make a decision to stay out, which ends up winning him the race.
Great move.
Yeah, it is a great move for them. Could it only be the only win this guy ever has?
Maybe, but who cares?
I mean, because what we got last year, we had Chris Bouchard win a dadgum race that was rain shortened for his first victory of the year. So, I mean, so is this what we're going to have again? So he makes the chase.
I wouldn't
say. Terry, there's 16 drivers. He ain't gonna win. He ain't gonna win.
No, he's not gonna win. He'll be out in the first round.
But
it'll be good.
Austin
but
Dillon,
I think that's great for the sport. I want to see more of that because it makes the crew chiefs and stuff have to do things instead of having 40 cars all pit at the same time, or all take the same number of tires. They took a chance. The thing is, it's a race to 400 miles or 500 miles. You don't get. I guess Kyle Busch don't get an award for having the fastest car, does he? There's no participation awards.
No.
He gets a big check, but I mean, I guess that's his award.
Good points day.
But the point is, Terry, the rabbit and the hare, right? Or the rabbit and the hare. The rabbit and the
it's
hare,
whatever it takes to
the
win.
Turtle. The tortoise won because his crew
and
chief
it's all
told
about
him
making
to save gas.
the chase.
Right, the turtle saved gas. He's the first crew chief.
But he'll be in the chase to get knocked out in the first round.
Well, Richard Childress, this is a big win for them.
Oh yeah, I agree.
They went through coming into this year. They went about 3 or 4 years without a win, and did this so far this year, and we're not even halfway through. They've already gotten 2 wins. With
Childress 2 wins, Gibbs 0 wins.
I mean that's something that I don't think many people saw coming into this year. Gibbs still looking for his first win as a team, and Childress has already got 2 wins after going years without a win. I mean that's big for Richard Childress, and that's one of NASCAR's biggest named teams. And
I guess, Smoke, I'm just biased because I don't think that number should have ever been brought back. I don't care whether it's your grandson or who it is, for everything that Dale Earnhardt did for NASCAR. And that's just my own opinion. There's a lot of people going to say, well, your opinion don't matter, and it does not most of the time. But it's just my own.
And I think it put a lot of pressure on Austin Dillon, considering how much Dale Earnhardt legacy is left. But you got to remember, it was Richard Childress's number before.
It is.
And
it was
he's always
number.
on this number, so he can do whatever he wants to. He doesn't really have to care what the public eye thinks about him. And Richard Petty, at least he owns the 43 number, so not many people complain about that. But that's why it's controversial, especially giving it to his.
The thing about retiring a number, Terry, is that you can't. It's tough to sell merchandise on that. You know what I mean? It's tough to sell new merchandise with that number. I mean, if the 43 didn't have cars running all the time, I'm not sure they'd have a 43. Richard Petty, I would imagine, I guess, would have a trailer. But I mean, I don't know if it would change the dynamics.
And
maybe that would be something to ask NASCAR because since the 3 hasn't been running in a while. But but Dale Earnhardt Jr. fans were still there buying 3 stuff. So that's a good question to wonder. Kyle Busch and his M&M Boogers car wins the pole at Dover. Terry, you want some of those? That's your new driver. You want M&M Boogers flavors?
Yeah, I was showing a Smoke Kevin during the commercial break. Someone made a meme of it's a package of M&Ms with Kyle picking his nose. New booger flavored M&Ms.
New M&M flavors, Kyle Busch. But anyway, he's got the pole. Let's see.
I just think he was mad because he's never won in Charlotte, and that was his opportunity.
I bet he burned the tires off at qualifying here at Dover. What do y'all think?
Oh, well, hopefully not for him because they got to use those tires to start the race.
He don't care to start. He doesn't care one bit about tires right now, does he? He was so mad he got all the way to Dover and won the pole. Jimmy Johnson
dropped
14. He dropped the pole?
No, he dropped his mic.
Oh, yeah. He dropped the mic on everybody. Poor Kyle. But going in, let's see. Who else won races this year, y'all?
Who's all won races? Let's see. Brad Keselowski and Martin Truex and Jimmy Johnson are the ones that have won multiple races, so that's 3. let's see, Kurt Busch,
Kyle Larson,
Ryan Newman, Austin Dillon,
Ricky
Stenhouse. So I think we're forgetting someone. I don't know.
I'm trying to. Joey Logano has a win, but it doesn't count towards the playoff because of the penalty.
All right, so we've had 9 winners so far in about a 12-13 race schedule. So a pretty good, diversity in terms of amount of people winning, and I think that's a good thing for NASCAR.
Right now, my 2 favorites to win the championship, see what you guys think, Jimmy Johnson and Martin Truex Jr.
I mean, Truex, that one, I understand that one.
This isn't the first year. He almost led the whole year last year, too.
Yeah, and he did. But
he's been so consistent.
The thing with him is it seems like something always happens when he always dominates.
That's true. Well, and the thing about it is in the playoffs, I'm just saying in the playoffs,
right.
it's all random because if you wreck one time, it pretty much ruins you the last 10 races.
Now,
it's survival. Who doesn't wreck the least last year?
One thing that could work, Kevin, in your pick's favor come November is all the playoff points smoke that he has amassed from stages. But if
he's got 6 stage wins.
My 2 favorites right now, Jimmy Johnson and Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, Brad Keselowski.
Keselowski's got the other 2 wins. He's only got 2 stage wins. Jimmy's got no stage wins. Playoff points right now, Truex is in first, Keselowski second, Jimmy third, and it looks like Kyle Larson is actually 4th place in playoff standings. He's second in overall standings. Harvick just keeps running across, pretty good days. Just can't put together the big win there for his team. Kyle Busch hasn't got a win either. McMurray is sitting in 6th place overall in the standings.
He's having a really good year.
But he doesn't have a single playoff point, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. He hasn't been up as quick. He's been around 5th or 6th throughout most of the year in terms of racing. But, speaking of another guy that's in the top 10, but he's fallen off over the last few weeks, Chase Elliott really been struggling.
Well,
had that unfortunate circumstance happen at the 600, and him and Keselowski wrecked early on.
Yeah, you say Chase Elliott. I think Ryan Blaney has started to fall off in recent weeks.
Terry, your Dale Earnhardt Jr. update. He's in 23rd. He got to win a race.
He's got to win a race. He knows that.
NASCAR going to fix Talladega?
You never know.
That's in the chase.
It'll be too late.
Oh, they've already done Talladega. Where are they going to fix?
Daytona.
Or Darlington.
Michigan.
Darlington.
No, Earnhardt runs good at Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan he's already. Yeah, he's pretty good at Michigan, but Daytona, I was watching the Stanley Cup Finals, Game 2, and they're already promoting. NBCSN is already promoting the Coke 0400 on July 4th weekend, and they have Dale Earnhardt Jr. They're playing back the 2001 Pepsi 400 when he won after the race after his father passed away. So, they are really hyping this up, and it's a big deal.
16th place right now, Trevor Bayne, Ryan Newman on the outside, Eric Jones and Suarez, Casey Kane, and Austin Dillon. Casey Kane's going to be looking for a new job soon. And Danica all the way back in 32nd. Is Danica or Carl Edwards going to take over Casey Kane's spot?
No, I think
Byron.
Yeah, William Byron. They're grooming some guys down at Hendrick right now. So
look, you guys got to. You guys are thinking like what a coach or teamer should do. Well, I'm thinking like a race car owner.
Well,
So just hold on a second. Let me finish. You already got. He could go in the 88 too. You got 2 spots open up, really, don't you?
Yeah, well,
88 and 5.
Depends.
So you already got the 24s taken. 48 is there to win championships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's got to sell some T-shirts at Dale Earnhardt that they're losing from. Somebody's got to sell some
I've heard
some
rumors.
hats and stuff, Terry.
I want your thoughts on this, Smoke. There's rumors that for the
Carl
88,
Edwards says he ain't retired.
For the 88 of the 5, that Hendrick's going to try to go break the bank, go all out on Kyle Larson.
I mean, that had been a rumor for about a year now that Kyle Larson, but then again, I remember hearing the rumor when Kyle Larson hadn't won a race yet. So
I want Edwards in the 5 and Danica in the 88 just to make Terry mad.
I told you I was going to
I want Danica in the 88 is what I want.
I like Alex Bowman in all seriousness.
I mean, I don't know. I think it would be. I think it would be fun to give. I think it would be fun to give her that chance one time.
She's
on that team. Give her 2 years on Hendricks and let her go, and then she can quit and retire and get her sports. I'm selling T-shirts here, Smoke, because at some point she's going to have to quit and leave anyway. Might as well give her a chance and then say, "Well, I had my chance." Because if she leaves now, she's not.
She's had 4 or 5 years and she still hasn't gotten the top 5. And
has she got the best engines?
they had Tony Gibson on their team, and then he goes over to they changed teams for him to go over to Kurt Busch, and he's worked wonders with Kurt Busch. So I'm just saying it. I would think she would get better finishes with Stewart Haas racing, at least around the 15. But she's averaging 22nd, 23rd at best throughout her career. She's only gotten 3 or 4 top 10s, not even a top 5. I mean, eventually you're going to have to try to get a driver that can actually win races and compete for a championship.
Believe.
Got 4 cars.
I'll tell you.
Hendricks has 4 cars and he needs to sell some T-shirts.
When I listen in all seriousness,
y'all know how serious T-shirt sales are.
In all seriousness, when I listen to some of Danica's interviews, I just wonder if this year could be it for her and that Casey Kane goes to the 10 car next year.
Honestly, do y'all think Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been at Hendricks because he's going to win championships or because he's selling T-shirts?
Probably more
Think
the
about
latter.
how much money they're making off Dale Earnhardt Jr.
But Dale Jr. has won races and actually somewhat competed
I
for
know
championships.
that, Smoke. I'm just saying it'd be nice to see something like that.
But you're asking for somebody to come in and take a guy number 88 spot, and I'm on your side because they're going to have to sell something.
But
I mean, that's going to be a tremendous hit of whoever takes that
Hendricks,
spot,
no matter what,
and cannot sell anything.
But with people like Danica, you can only go so far with the whole T-shirt.
I'm going to tell you what, I guarantee she's second. If she's not first, she's darn second or third. At the worst, she's at the least fifth.
Probably ahead of.
Well, I'm going to say at the least fifth of selling things, because I mean she sells a ton of stuff just for her being a lady.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
And
of the
she's
marketing.
break the barrier. She's done a lot for NASCAR. You know, hopefully we'll see. She's inspired, I think, a lot of people, a lot of women to get into NASCAR, which we haven't seen before. And you know, we've seen guys. Hopefully, it works as well with guys like Bubba Wallace Jr. and Daniel Suarez, which Daniel Suarez has done a pretty solid job for a guy as raw as he is. You know, so this Drive for Diversity program, I know Danica wasn't a part of it, but it's, I think, a very big deal.
Not far
She
behind.
was 7.
Not far behind.
Whenever last year, when Tony Stewart was still in there.
So it was Dale Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, a rookie, was already 4th.
Yeah.
And he was replacing an all-time great in Jeff Gordon.
Smoke. I'm not comparing.
No, I
Well,
know.
I said Tony
Patrick
Stewart's
to Chase
gone,
Elliott. What
so
we're
she's
saying,
probably 6.
Look at the 4. Look at all the cars there that are Hendricks. The top, how many?
Let's see, 2, 3 of the 4.
3 of the top 4 are Hendricks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 4 of them, all 4.
And number 1's retired, and 5's got, and wherever Casey Kane is, he's 10th. So they got 4 of the top 10 at Hendricks. So they're losing a lot of T-shirt sales. All Danica needs to do is just finish races, and they sell almost as many T-shirts as they already were.
Yeah.
Then they can put William Byron and whoever they want to in the other car. You can't put 2 no-names at Hendricks. It's not going to happen. I'm just proposing. Even if it's not Danica. I would love Carl Edwards.
Yeah, I mean, Carl Edwards, yeah. And he didn't say flat out retired.
Carl Edwards in the 5, I'd like to see
He didn't say he flat out retired. He basically is if it's possible, he's just taking a sabbatical.
All right, Seth, let's take another break. NASCAR, let's pick our winners this weekend. I'm going Jimmy, might as well, 11 times.
Not a bad pick. I'll go Kyle Larson.
Kyle Busch.
I'll go Kurt Busch.
I think Kyle might wreck 4 or 5 people, but at first he might get in front of him or something.
Well, we had that big wreck at Dover last year.
And then I think somebody's going to wreck him this week, actually, maybe. All right, guys, we'll be back in just a few minutes. We've got to finish up our day here on KTC. What's up? Mitchem's Kitchen, Saturday Sports Talk, KTCBroadcasting.com.
Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to join the boss of Big O Country as we broadcast live this Saturday, June 3rd, during Customer Appreciation Day at Roland Black Heating and Cooling in Gastonia. We'll be there this Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We'll have free city lunch hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks, and register to win some great prizes, too, including a Yeti cooler, 5 free summer tune-nuts valued at $94 each, and an air scrubber plus clean air purifier system. That's valued at $750. And ask about Train 0% APR financing for 72 months or a trade-in allowance of up to $1,000. So plan now to be there this Saturday, June 3rd, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at Roland Black Heating and Cooling, 501 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia, just up from Tony's Ice Cream. Hey, we'll see you this Saturday.
The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series is in Dover, Delaware.
The Motor Racing Network.
Wow, they're fanning out 2 with 3 wide behind Matt Crafton.
The hardest racing drivers in NASCAR.
He overcorrects and hits the wall head on.
Tangle at the Monster Mile.
Got a good run to the inside of the racetrack.
The Bar Harbor 200, presented by Sea-Watch International.
Wow.
Friday at 5 p.m. on the Motor Racing Network.
The Bar Harbor 200 this Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock on Big O Country, 1590 AM WCSL, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com. It's the Spring Appliance Closeout Sale at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. Prices have been slashed store-wide. A Maytag 3.6 cubic foot washer now at the closeout price of $3.99. A matching Maytag dryer, closeout price of $3.99. And a big side-by-side Amana refrigerator, now closeout price of $8.99. Hurry on in now for big savings during the Spring Appliance Closeout Sale at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. NASCAR's America's Tailgate Party.
Don't get in my way.
And welcome back to Mitchem's Kitchen Sports Talk. What's up, shopper? Evan Ludwig, Terry Reinhardt, Seth Eves, and we got Steve Robay of Robay and Associates in the studios. Before we get back into our last subject, Seth, could we go over the schedule for today to remind everyone what's going on?
All right, coming up in a matter of moments at 10:30 a.m., it's Game 2 of the championship series between Crest and Northern Guilford. And we may have the Braves at Cincinnati at 3:55. If Crest wins Game 2, though, then we'll have Game 3 at about 4:30, 5 o'clock
4:30.
WOHS. And also tonight on, we have American Legion Baseball, 6:45 WLON, Lincoln County at Mint Hill. And on WCSL, Cherryville at Caldwell County, the rivalry renewed. Tomorrow, Monster Energy Cup Series, AAA 400 Drive for Autism, noon Eastern on WCSL. And at 12:55 on WOHS and WLON, the Atlanta Braves and the Cincinnati Reds.
Guys, today as well, if you're out and about in the area, you're not near a radio, and you're at a ballpark, shopping or somewhere, download the Ustream app or go to with your iPhones and tablets. You can download it with your other Androids and everything too. Download the Ustream app, search WOHS, and you can listen to the Crest Chargers today. Search WCSL, you can listen to Post 100 tonight, and search WLON and listen to Smoke in Lincoln County tonight and Mint Hill. And if you want to find them all at once, you can search KTC Broadcasting or What's Up Shopper and get them all on one search and jump back and forth there between them. Once you're on a page, you can actually jump to the other channels. There's a tab on each page that says Other Channels. Just click on that and you'll see all of our live channels. You can click on there and listen. We also will be tweeting the scores today and as well during these games. Hashtag KTC Sports, KTC Scores. We tweet our scores from Scores. We hear our sports information and our broadcast schedules and everything from KTC Sports. Had a good day today. A couple of things wrapping up. I just wanted to make a couple of comments. Rashad McCants, everybody's vilifying him at Carolina for probably telling the truth, Terry. I'm a Carolina fan. I'm sorry, you can hate him. It's just weird to hate. I guess hating a whistleblower is what he is, and sometimes people they just don't make up things that's crazy like that, Terry, just to make things up. Just because and I hate when they say, well, someone lied about this. Right? Just because someone lied one time about something or didn't tell you the whole truth about something doesn't mean they're lying about something else. Now, I hope they get to everything settled, whether it's a NCAA jurisdiction thing or not. I think it's funny. It cracks me up because Rashad McCants just covered up. Hey, I wasn't taking any classes, and everybody's like, he's making that up. Well, why would he make that up? I'm not going to class.
Nothing really.
That's just weird. Who says that? Who goes around telling people, my college education, I didn't go to class. I didn't want to go. People that didn't, there's a lot of people that would say that, hey, I didn't listen. That's just silly. Anyway.
I mean, and plus, I think at this point, it's been 7 years. I think Carolina will probably get.
People are mad that he was attacking Roy, but the thing about the thing, McCants is on the island right now, ain't he, Terry? And,
he is.
And a lot of people don't want a lot of people will sacrifice winning at sports for whatever integrity that they have and everything, and it's just sad.
His last thing might be just selling a book. Really telling the truth.
Some people saying he got to take his jersey down from the rafters. Shut up.
They already have.
Guys. Did they? No, they didn't.
I think they already have.
They didn't take it.
He's not even. He's blackballed basically from Carolina.
That's just silly because he told the truth about it.
I think McCants said his jersey has been taken down. He hasn't been there since he graduated.
Smoke, I just read an article yesterday. Should they take his jersey down?
I thought I heard McCants say they already took it down.
Whatever. It's just silly that he's the one reason they won that national championship, whether they want to admit it or not. And the fact is, they'll sit there, the fans they'll be mad at McCants will defend that championship. And hey, well, we didn't cheat. Well, they've been doing it since '93. Is these fake classes? So, when did they start winning championships? 1993.
And of course, these guys would treat McCants like a god if he was at Duke and doing the same thing.
Hey, State fans love Rashad McCants right now, don't they? All right, well, that's the McCants. Tiger Woods, y'all got a little DUI. 0.000 on the alcohol level, so it wasn't alcohol. It was pills. If you've seen the video, I encourage everyone to watch the video. If you want to know more about it, it explains everything. He definitely should not have been driving. Couldn't answer any questions. Couldn't do anything they was asking.
Very slow speaking.
I guess the biggest question is how or why he got to where he was, what he was doing, what the situation was. There's all kind of questions about that. I guess the biggest question, whether as far as golf is concerned, is his career over? As far as a PGA, are we looking at maybe someday down the road he could join the senior PGA, or what do you think, Terry? Right now, John Daly. Guys, if I'd have told y'all 10 years ago that right now in 2017, John Daly would be a senior PGA champion and Tiger Woods would be in jail. John Daly's sober and Tiger Woods is the one that's not.
Yeah, just think of that. My whole deal in behind is I just want him, if he don't need his car, go ahead and give it to me. I'll fix the tires. I'll fix everything.
Millions of dollars? Steve Robe, you drive every day, right? How many commas would you need in your bank account would you stop driving and someone else would drive you? He's got he's got all this money. He could have found someone somewhere, but if he got, but nobody knows. Did he just get? Is it a mixture? Did he take the wrong things? Did he do it on purpose? What we don't know, so we can't.
And I've
speculate.
heard the drug that he took was that he was prescribed to. I think it creates sleepwalking as a side effect.
About every drug they give you, they don't drive. You're lucky it didn't make his every drug on TV says you don't have booty leakage, Steve. That's lucky. That's what wasn't going on.
And then when his picture come out, everybody says people were doctoring his picture.
Sports I see that.
So I mean,
his hair. Oh my gosh! All right, last thing on our list, I guess. Smoke. I'll give you a little minute. We kind of touched on it last week. Kaepernick did not sign with the Seahawks. They're not going to sign him. So that leaves the Panthers still in no man's land. Now, the only reason I bring that up, I was watching TV the other day, and they had some people from New York talking to a reporter. I'm not going to name his name here in the Charlotte area. And he was lambasting the Giants for not signing Kaepernick and for their stance on Kaepernick. Going crazy on the Giants. Now, let me get this straight. Don't the Giants have a 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback on their team?
Amen.
Isn't he healthy?
Yes.
Isn't he under contract?
He is.
And they just drafted a quarterback.
And a third round.
So why would they sign Colin Kaepernick? Under any reason. Why would they need Colin Kaepernick?
Minimum salary.
Now this reporter sitting in the middle of Charlotte, his quarterback is not even practicing this year, has a torn rotator cuff, runs the same offense as Kaepernick can run. The backup is a 37-year-old who doesn't run at all.
No.
Smoke, should the Panthers sign Kaepernick?
They should. Point blank, they should. And I'm pretty shocked that Seattle did not sign him. I don't know what the reason was or what, but I was pretty shocked when Seattle.
They got a solid starting situation now, currently.
Yeah.
My thing is with you guys is the practice time. Y'all got so many new guys. Mm-hmm. You got to work in this new offense, new system. Kaepernick, he can run the exact same stuff Cam can. Are they afraid he's going to take Cam's job? I mean, that ain't going to happen, is it?
No, I don't think it will. I think you just need to have a good backup, and I think Kaepernick would be one of the best backups in the league. And it's unfortunate that he's still out of a job, and and then see guys like Adam Jones still in the league. Joe Mixon gets drafted in the second round, and Speaking of that, Adam Jones out of all people is going to be mentoring Joe Mixon's. That's not good. That is not good whatsoever.
The Bengals, the Jailblazers of the NFL. All right, any other thoughts today, Terry? Good luck to the Crest Chargers, folks.
Good luck,
10:30. Steve's already in the house, ready to get these guys ready and rocking. 10:30, they're going to start their pregame, I think, from the stadiums. Is that right, Steve? Andy Foster and Paul Foster. Let's wheel these Chargers to some base hits today, get those bats going. They scored 2 yesterday. We know they can do better. I'm predicting, Smoke, a 12-3 rout in Game 2. And then Game 3 is we're going to have a doozy. Terry, thoughts today? Anything else?
No, I have none.
Smoke.
Just good luck to Chris and RS Central.
Kansas City's no longer got a wide receiver. They just released Jeremy Maclin yesterday.
Oh, real quick, as far as the RS Central and Crest are in the championship, Athletics yesterday tweeted a photo out of to watch it online, and they used a photo of last year's state championships. So it was a photo of the East Rutherford team.
You had one job.
So the SMAC got 2 teams in the state championship today, and they had a picture of the team, another team from the SMAC has in it to watch it. It's just funny. It was last year. That's fine. It's cute. I just thought it was funny. Not hating. Just thinking it's funny.